And welcome to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at 6 Scale Cantina. So Cody went on Waitlist. So did the Leia and Wicket 2-pack. How are those two figures looking right now within the secondary market, and where will they ultimately end up? Also, we're going to take a look at some of the other Star Wars hot toys that are in stock currently at Sideshow and project forward as to when they may go on Waitlist. We're going to dive into all of this and more right now. Alright, and welcome everyone to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at 6 Scale Cantina. So before we go ahead and dive into this episode, I am pleased to announce that I will be on the next 6th Scale Scavengers podcast YouTube channel show. I am so excited about this. I've been watching their shows for a very long time, and not only is the 6 Scale Scavenger show one of my favorite Hot Toys shows, it's one of my favorite shows on YouTube, period. So I have the link to their channel within the video description below. If you haven't subscribed to them yet, go ahead and click on that link and absolutely subscribe to them. You will absolutely love their content. It is just a phenomenal show, and those guys do a really, really good job. And I'm very excited to be the special guest on their forthcoming next episode. So please stay tuned for that actual date, and please go ahead and subscribe to them. Again, I have the link within the video description below. Also, as you may have heard from my last video, I am going to attempt to have the first live stream for the Market Value Chart Show on March 13th. We'll hopefully have a couple of guests. We're going to have Geekin' Out on. I spoke about him in my last video. I have the link to his channel again within the video description below. So stay tuned for more details. Hopefully this old dog here will be able to work the OBS software and get all the streaming down right so we can do it on the 13th. We're certainly going to go ahead and attempt to do so. Again, with all the comments that we generate from the regular videos and shows here, I think it'll be a lot of fun to do a live stream and open up the chat and talk to you all live. So definitely looking forward to that. So I'm going to be MIA over the next several days. So it is possible that after this recording that Hot Toys could officially announce this Bo-Katan. Now I've been hearing some rumors from some other sources and channel content creators and Facebook groups that, that this could be forthcoming this week. Now, when they went ahead and teased this, I thought that this would come about 2 weeks after the announcement of the Boba Fett from the Mandalorian, the deluxe and single version, because I think that they would have wanted more time for that to marinate and generate that excitement and not, bombard so many releases up at once with that epic release of the Boba Fett. So this is when I'm expecting it. If they don't wind up announcing it this week, I still really do believe that before the end of March anyway, that Hot Toys will release this action figure for sure. So let's go ahead and dive into this show. And I wanted to go ahead and address this. Certainly there were quite a few of you reaching out to me about my thoughts on this Commander Cody especially. So I am going to have a market outlook format of the Market Value Chart Show come out this coming Monday or the latest Tuesday. So stay tuned for that where we'll be able to dive into that, both the Cody and the Leia and everything else far more deeper. So for right now, this just went on Waitlist, and there's not a whole lot of data yet with this Cody to see exactly where it's trending within the secondary market. Now, I can tell you that initial numbers are indicating that this is now a $300 tier range figure. I am seeing that this is selling within the $300 tier range. Now, will it be selling in the $350 tier range like the OG Mandalorian basically did within a day of, going on waitlist and selling out? We'll have to see. I do think it is possible. I don't have enough data yet, but certainly by the time we come out with the market outlook format of this program, again, this Monday or Tuesday, we should have some more details for sure. But there's not enough data yet on this to be able to go to and add it to the biggest mover section or even the market value chart on the next tab as trending up. But I think the data is coming in rather quickly, and I do think that right now it is showing that it is a $300 tier range figure. We'll have to see, is it lower 300? Is it mid 300? Is it possible that this Commander Cody could be a $400 tier range figure even within the next week or within a few days? Now, I do think it is possible. This is a very, very strong release, and I've been saying for quite a few episodes that if you were planning on getting this figure and you had your money budgeted and allocated to get this figure, that you needed to get it now because it was going to go on waitlist, and I thought sooner than later. And sure enough, this went on waitlist. So, where do I think this is ultimately going to go? I think that this is a $500 tier range figure, no doubt. I think this is a very epic character. I think Tamora Morrison is very relevant again within the current Star Wars universe. And I just think that it's going... I think that this one's a really good figure. I don't know if they're going to reissue this anytime soon. And I do believe that this is going to be a $500 tier range figure. So, if you're like me, and which means that, sometimes you sleep on some of these figures, I don't pre-order everything, and I don't order everything that I actually really want, and I already have budgeted that's in stock. I just don't. And sometimes it'll come back to bite you. But, if you got the money for this, and you have it allocated, and you really want this figure, you just didn't pull the plug, I would get it right now in the secondary market right now while this is trending, around $300. Now, I will tell you that when you're looking at, eBay right now, a lot of these listings now, $400, $360, $399, $487, $350. We're going to see where this pans out over the next week or so. But again, I do think ultimately this will level off into the $500 tier range, and possibly, even beyond with this release. I think that this is that strong of a release. So, I think what's going to happen here also with Cody is that is going to create a reaction to Captain Rex. So, bringing up a Sideshow, and again, I always have this sorted out for Star Wars Hot Toys bestsellers wise. With Rex, you can see here now number 5 best-selling, and it wouldn't surprise me if over the next week, couple of weeks, even days, that this inches up to be number 3. Will it go ahead of the Mandalorian of the Child, or will it be right next to it? I don't know, but I think it's going to be right up there, and I think that Captain Rex for sure will go on waitlist way quicker than Cody did here. And I think that when Rex does go on waitlist, that is going to take the Cody figure, and it is going to catapult it even further within the secondary market, regardless of where it is. And both of them are going to work in tandem together, and they're both going to be $500 tier range figures. Let me know what you think within the comments section below. But that's what I think is going to happen with Cody. Again, I have a whole market outlook coming out next Monday or Tuesday, and we will dive into this figure more then for sure. But for the short term, I wanted to go ahead and get something out. That's my initial thoughts on this figure. Now, going to the next figure that went on waitlist this week. And this is no surprise to me. I kind of thought that this was going to go on waitlist sometime in March or sometime in April. It went on waitlist now. Both of these figures individually have sold out. And, with this figure, I think this is going to be more slow going as far as rising up within the secondary market. Yes, I do think that this is a $500 tier range figure, but I think we all could have kind of figured that out. I mean, it kind of, retails, $400 going up to $500 for this set. I think that that's reasonable and apropos. Now, going away from the set for a second, I think more importantly, it's going to take this Leia by itself, and this is going to go up within the secondary market. And I think along with it, it's going to take the Bespin Leia as well with it. So even a lot of other content creators have, predicted in the past that, these Leias could quite possibly catch up to where the Hoth Leia is. I mean, they're all pretty good. They all have their little nuances, as far as which one's really better or not. I mean, the Hoth Leia is great. This Leia is great. The Bespin's Leia is great. I got the Bespin Leia. They're all good. The A New Hope Leia is really, really good. I think it's great as well. I think that they're all going to wind up being those $400 tier range Leia original trilogy figures. So I've been saying for, several episodes that, you can go ahead and get this 2-pack right now on Sideshow for the same price that you can pick up the Hoth Leia on the secondary market or the A New Hope Leia. So my suggestion to you is if you want this 2-pack, take a look at, you could still get it, I think, on eBay. Certainly call up some comic shops. I think you'd be able to absolutely pick it up in the low 400s. As far as where is it going to go, within the secondary market, and, is it going to be in the biggest mover section? Is it going to move in the market value chart? Again, putting out this video just to address this brand new news. There's not enough data yet, but I don't think that this will go anywhere as quick as Cody is. But we'll have to keep an eye on it, and certainly we'll see if we have some more information with my upcoming episode, again, this coming Monday or Tuesday for sure. So that's going to go ahead and bring me to the next part of this episode I want to go ahead and speak to, and that is bringing up this Boba Fett again, and this deluxe set particularly. How did that affect, and how is it affecting other figures within the secondary market? Because this is a $495 set. So you could have an argument to where, hey, other figures that are fetching such high prices are going to suffer a little bit because, a lot of collectors need to pick this up. And I think this is having an adverse effect to that point. It's actually generating more excitement like the Mandalorian did. Just this announcement is making a lot of excitement, like the Mandalorian did the show. And I think that there's just a lot of excitement around Star Wars right now. Certainly, even bringing up a 2-pack again. Here's another new auction for Han and Chewie from A New Hope. $805 with 17 hours left. It's crazy. So, and if you look at this Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi non-deluxe, over $400, $402, after that was announced. So I think it's actually going to take figures such as this Return of the Jedi Boba Fett deluxe and non-deluxe. I think it's going to take figures such as, going back to 6scalecantina.com, this vintage color Boba Fett you see by the left of the Remnant Trooper on the screen, I think it's going to, help that rise. I think it's kind of a chain reaction. So I think how it's going to affect some figures within the secondary market, even figures that have no relation to it, like this Dark Side Anakin, or even Director Krennic, or so on and so forth. I think it's actually having an effect where there's just more of a desire to get really great Star Wars Hot Toys characters that have already been released. And so ultimately, is that going to affect, because this is so highly priced, other pre-orders? And I don't think so. I actually think it's going to have the same effect, and it could be like, wow, that deluxe set of the Boba Fett's coming out. Now I need this. Now I need that. So again, my advice to you there with that is be very careful that you get the figures that you want to get. I've pointed this out before. I am a Star Wars freakazoid. And when there was a lot of hype around the Mud Trooper, I didn't buy the Mud Trooper. And the reason being is I really just didn't want the figure. Now, it went on, it went right to waitlist, but I didn't want it to begin with, even when it was going to go in stock. So I didn't pick it up and buy into the hype. And I'm really focused just on Star Wars. And I love Han Solo. I just really didn't want that figure. So, again, with any of these figures, if it's not a figure that really rings true to you, stay true to the collection. Don't buy into hype. But if you plan on buying the figure, going down this list right here, like you could take a look on the screen, this Mandalorian and the Child, whether it's the deluxe or non-deluxe, or this Captain Rex, if you know you're going to get those figures, get them now. As far as the Mandalorian with the Child, I know they produce a lot of batches of these, but folks, there's a lot of pre-orders on these. I do not expect this to sit in stock even as long as the OG Mandalorian did. I just think there's that many pre-orders going on right now. I don't know exactly how much over that Hot Toys, made and is going to ship out, but it's going to be very interesting to see. But it's certainly not going to be, I don't believe, be in stock for like 3 months or something like that. I think these are starting to ship out now. And I really believe, are not going to stay in stock long once they get in stock. So if you want to get it, pick it up. Certainly with the Rex, pick it up. Going down this list, this Boba Fett re-release in the 40th anniversary packaging, this deluxe version, will be gone once it gets in stock. I don't think it'll sit in stock nowhere near as long that vintage Boba Fett did. So, again, Boba Fett's really hot. So that's what I think there. Qui Gon Jinn, we've talked about Qui Gon. So, if you want to get all the Jedi, and again, I don't pre-order every figure, and I don't even buy every figure that's in stock that I want. I just don't have the time. I don't think about it. And I'm like, darn, why didn't I do that? And so, it's just, if you want that Qui-Gon, I would get it, because this is one that will go up very quickly once it does sell out, for sure. So let's go ahead and go to the next couple of figures on this sideshow list that I think are going to go on waitlist soon. So, obviously, this Incinerator Trooper, I'm surprised it didn't go on waitlist yet, and the same with this Death Trooper moving back up here next to Qui-Gon. So with the Death Trooper and the Incinerator Trooper, quite honestly, I think that it'll be very possible that these will go on waitlist before the end of this month, certainly in April. So that means that if this goes on waitlist sometime in April or before, this Incinerator Trooper and this Death Trooper and this Qui-Gon, and continuing to move up, this IG-11, this Boba Fett from the 40th, within the 40th anniversary packaging, and the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, and the Darth Vader, and also the Mandalorian and the Child, deluxe and non-deluxe sets. I think we can be looking at a very different pre-order and in-stock Star Wars list for Hot Toys on Sideshow. So, obviously, these are all going to go on waitlist, right? but I'm thinking they're going to go on waitlist very, very, very quickly, which will change the dynamic of this page very, very quickly. However, I also think that there's going to be some big releases coming out over the next month or two, including what we talked about earlier in the show. This Bo-Katan is coming. If not, this week. And I'm recording this episode here on Wednesday night. So, Wednesday evening, actually. Will it come out? Will they announce it Wednesday night? Thursday night? Friday night? If not, I think it's very possible next week or certainly before the end of March. But I think we're going to get a lot of releases coming for sure. So I think that this page could look very, very different in the upcoming weeks and short term for Star Wars Hot Toys for sure. So that's going to go ahead and bring this episode of the Market Value Chart Show to a conclusion. Please go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed the content. And please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I so very much appreciate your support. Please continue to spread the word around about the Market Value Chart Show and also 6scalecantina.com and the Market Value Chart. Again, is very much appreciated. As I mentioned in the beginning of the show, please look for me on the next forthcoming episode on 6 Scale Scavengers. I have the link to their channel within the video description below. Please subscribe to them. I'm really stoked about that. And also on March 13th, I'm going to attempt to have the very first live stream for the Market Value Chart Show. We'll hopefully have a couple of guests, including Geekin' Out. And I have the link to his channel again within this video description as well. Also, go ahead and follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. I have the links to both of those in the video description as well. Remember, many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. See you next time.